yourselves on mute. So thanks a lot. And Society of Cyberabad Security Council was formed about 14 years back in Cyberabad, and this is the first of its kind in Telangana. And what does Society of Cyberabad Security Council do? They actually strive for the safety of the society, be it in terms of road safety, be it in terms of women's safety, as well as cyber security, cyber safety, infrastructure security. So this is the mission which it started off with about 14 years back, saying if we want a state to grow and we want people to grow in the state, the first line of um, importance of each one of our safety is to be able to drive and ensure that women are safe, that there is a road compliance, road measures, there's road safety, traffic safety, all of these. And as you've been hearing a lot around the on the cyber crimes, I think cyber security, cyber hackers, cyber crimes are all need to be protected. And if so, whose responsibility is it, right? So can each one of y'all put in your chat window whose responsibility is the safety of Cyberabad, right? Is it an individual responsibility, organizational responsibility, or is it a personal responsibility, or the police or society? Whose responsibility is it? I think it's very important for each one of you all to reflect whose responsibility is the safety of the entire society in what we live. So as we come to it, I would like to introduce our Women's Forum wing. As I said, there are many verticals which SCSC works for, be it in terms of traffic, infrastructure, cyber. Women's Forum actually set out in the year 2014 to be able to say how do we really respect women in the workplace, respect women outside workplace, how do we really reach out with the security measures and policies and practices available for women. Do we have enough of reach which is there? Do we understand what are the different safety security measures? And how does a woman rise and progress and develop in the society we live in? I know there are many safety measures even men require, but the number of crimes for women is much more. So I'm very happy to see that there are a lot of men who are a part of this new hire session. And this is one of its kind which we have started, that every new hire who joins an organization in Cyberabad should attend this 1 hour safety session. And very soon we are coming up with an online certification where you need to be able to complete that on your module and get certified. So this program is not for women, it is for women and men to understand what the safety measures are available and how can you take responsibility of your own safety, right? And this is very important for each one of y'all. And I know some of y'all have written many things, whose safety it is, every individual, society, members, absolutely it is responsibility of each one of us, right? Be it the government, be it the organization, in the end it is a responsibility of each one of us. Individual safety, personal safety is the utmost importance. And Society of Cyberabad Security Council has been formed by collaborating with the government, with the industry organization, and individuals like all of us who are volunteering, who are a part of the Society for Cyberabad Security Council. So this is something, it's glad that each one of us are individually going to be responsible. So how is it that we are going to be responsible? I think the first line of defense is it's important to be aware, be alert, and be safe, right? I think that's one thing what we do. And there are different kinds of scenarios as well as different kinds of crimes which happen in the society. And I'm sure most of y'all know, y'all would have been a victim to some of those crimes, or maybe y'all would have seen that how each one of your friends, colleagues are going through different scenarios. So I'll take a moment here. As I'm saying, awareness is the first line of defense. Are you aware of what the ecosystem is there to provide? Do you know what is the Cyberabad police? Who are the she teams? What are the counseling centers? What are the laws, acts, and rights for a woman? I think it's important to question yourself. So, if I were to ask any one of y'all if there is a violence at home, what do you do? If your sister, spouse, or anybody is going through an abusive relationship, right? Or a abusive case which is going on in terms of divorce or in times of any kinds of distress a woman is going through, either at home, one is the domestic violence. There are many other cases, right? Now, the cyber crimes. There's a lot of social media channels, be it on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All these are very, very easily accessible to everybody. And you have almost about 6 to 7 kinds of cyber crimes. Are you all aware? I think being aware is important. So do you know what is cyber stalking, cyber bullying, cyber defamation, or be it in terms of cyber grooming? When you get into a relationship online with any of with the women, and then he or she is trying to get you into a sexual assault by using the social media as a channel, is cyber grooming. It's important that you understand the laws, the acts, what are the cyber crimes, what are the domestic violence cases. I agree, each one of y'all may be a new hire or would have spent enough of time in your organizations. But very sad to say that there are a lot of cases and there are a lot of uh, abusive case studies which we actually go through on how really women have become victim to various crimes, and it's just not in person, it's also through the cyber channels. So one is all the women need to be aware on how to reach out to in terms of help. All the men who are either supervisors or who have friends and colleagues need to be aware. So when a woman reaches out to you in terms of being a brother, being a friend, being a supervisor, or be it a colleague, it's important for you to be aware to know how can you help and support that individual. I think that becomes very, very important, and that's why awareness is your first line of defense. So this is your first step. It doesn't need to stop with this. There are many more programs, there's many more ways you can enroll into some of our programs and become aware, which I will share with you very soon. So I'll just share a little bit about the women's forum activities. We have something called the Margadarshak program. We actually launched our Q3 Margadarshak program today, I would say. It is a very structured program which is split in 8 weeks. So any individual in the organizations or communities, we are going to extend this eventually there, can become a Margadarshak. Now, who's a Margadarshak? He or she is a guide to help women who are going through any kind of violence or distress, and she or he can reach out, and then the Margadarshak actually reaches out to the she teams, to the police, which DCP Ansuya ma'am is going to cover in detail. How do we reach out to them and seek help? So in the beginning, where I shared with y'all that the first line of safety is government, society, organization, and individual. So that's how we have partnered to ensure that people who are working within industry have the support systems and can access those support systems. Some of y'all would have heard about she shuttles. Many of y'all would have used the she shuttles. There are almost 6 routes within the within Cyberabad area where these she shuttles are available, free to use, and the best part is the safety part of it, right? Project Safe Stay is a audit which we are doing for all the hostels in Cyberabad, and it is based on certain safety measures where SCSE certifies every hostel on the safety measures the hostel owner should be able to take. And it's important for all of y'all who are staying in hostels need to understand what those safety measures are, and we'll talk about it a little bit in detail. So we launched a SheSafe app. The SheSafe app is something which you can download. All of y'all have downloaded SheSafe app. Y'all have registered through it. All these programs which I mentioned is available there. The events and programs are also available there. You can get into depth of detail on it. Then we have on an annual basis as well as quarterly basis, there is a platform for networking for women to be able to discuss these issues. and also men. We encourage in most of our programs men to be there, because we think that it is there, it has to start from. And if you become ambassadors for driving the safety, I think we'll live in a better society and be it in a better place. So as I spoke about a little bit about Margadarshak program, I'll share with you a little personal experience of mine. When I got certified as a Margadarshak, and I had to share it within my organization, I spoke to many people, and this was about 3 years back. um, and I had to speak about it, and I had to wear a badge that I'm certified. I went through a 1 day program followed by field trips where we had to go to NGOs, shelter homes, as well as counseling centers. When we went to all these, we got an understanding of how the whole system works. It's like a great thing which Cyberabad police is doing, and I really applaud CP sir, commissioner, who's going to join us soon, and also DCP Ansuya ma'am, for building such a strong system for all of us to make it safe. And when I became a Margadarshak, and then couple of people in my organization knew about it, I received a call from a girl who said, Pratyusha, I heard you're a Margadarshak. Uh, there is a guy where I was working in my earlier company who had been stalking me. He had been sending emails. He had been, when I was coming from home to as well as office, he had been stalking me. And now he's got into cyber stalking. So he moved from that in person stalking to cyber stalking, sending emails, sending messages on Facebook, sending messages and mails to the family members. So it was so much of a harassment for her. She kept it with her for almost a year. But it became so much, she didn't know who to reach out to. So when such kind of things happen, I know there is sometimes we don't just reach out to the police. So when she got to know that I was a Margadarshak, we had Margadarshaks within our company, she reached out, where we in turn immediately reached out to the police as well as the she teams. So the she teams are embedded within the police. So we reached out, they actually identified who this person was and gave a warning, which really, it was such a pleasure for the girl, which she was getting harassed for almost a year, either in person or through the cyber channels. She didn't know what to do, because she teams was not her first line. She was scared. She said, maybe my name will come out. But all this is something which she could reach out to me because of the confidence she has, and I was able to approach the she teams to be able to give her assistance. And all the women's forum leaders and members who are here today are Margadarshaks, and actually they reach out to us, as well as we have around 500 Margadarshaks within the city who are trained and who are certified to be able to assist women who are going through any kind of situation. And these are some of the situations they may go through: either physical abuse, sexual violence, emotional harassment. There is psychological violence, as well as kind of a financial abuse. You might be hearing so many things. I've been coming across either in Facebook, LinkedIn, or outside, the different kinds of financial, emotional problems where a woman may go through, which will come out. So I've spoken more about Margadarshaks. You want to be a Margadarshak, please go to the SheSafe app, enroll for the program if you're interested to be a Margadarshak. We've spoken about the She Shuttle. We have about 6 routes for the She Shuttle, whether it's Madhapur to in orbit to again Madhapur. There are a lot of employees who actually make use of this. It is helps a woman to be able to reach from her home place or any hostel she's living to the office space and back. So it has a lady security guard. They have a smart app. There is a CCTV surveillance system. So the most safe, venture, which is the She Shuttle. I know right now with all the COVID situation, there is a lull, but this was being used by almost 65,000 people a month just pre-COVID, right? And with more than about 3 to 4 lakh of women within Hyderabad, this has been a great support for all the women to make it a safe place. Uh, Giving a little bit about Project Safe Stay, we, as I said, we would like hostels. There are a lot of women who live in hostels, in PG accommodation, in different corridors, right? Be it in Madapur, Kondapur, Kukatpalli, Miapur. There are many hostels. But how do we know that it is safe? So is there a entry exit for every person who goes in? Is there a register for any visitors who come in? Is there a compound wall which has to be at a certain level, which we recommend as 5 feet? Are the gates manned by a watchman, or is it manned by some? In some of the places where we audited, it is actually manned by the hostel owner itself. And you see in a working women's hostel, there are only 2, 3 men, and there's no CCTV cameras. CCTV cameras are a must at the entry and exit points. It's important to have a visitors register. You need to have a fire extinguisher. You need to ensure that all the proofs which you are giving has to be maintained by the hostel owners. There needs to be individual lockers. You need to understand the individual safety of every inmate, and also verify all the cards. So this is what we recommend as about 10 commandments, which we actually ask the hostel owners to abide with. And also, if you are an inmate to in any of the hostels, please go to the She Safe app. There is an opportunity for you to go and rate or rank the hostels based on your experience on the safety. It is not to do with hygiene. It is not to do with food or any other aspects. It's to do with the safety of the hostels which all of us live in. So it's important. Please make a note and ensure that you are living in a safe place. So finally, I'm happy that the She Safe app, we launched it about 6 months back. The SCSC and Cyberabad police together. So if you see the bullet points, whether it's a SOS button, it's integrated with Hawkeye, which is 100. So the first number you call at time of any time of crime or any kind of situation is a 100, which goes to the Hawkeye, the central command center. And you have the Margadarshak module, you have the hostel's 10 commandments, which we spoke about, and all the knowledge you should gain to ensure that what a woman should know and how safe she should be, what are the different acts and policies, and also what are the different awareness channels. So keeping in that in mind, please make a note of this number. It is there even in the She Safe app. You can reach out to the She teams and to the Cyberabad police through the WhatsApp number. It's 9490617444, and they respond immediately. There is a great response, and as I initially said, we have a great supporting police who acts with each one of us and are able to support and make it a safer Hyderabad. These are some of the numbers, which is the Hyderabad Police Commissionerate for people who are living in the Hyderabad area, as well as in the Rachkonda Police Commissionerate. With this, I'd like to end my session. This is a brief about the Women's Forum. How are we driving different activities? Uh, there are a couple of things which I would want to share with you before I end my session. One is there will be an online certification module in the next 4 to 8 weeks. Please get access to it. You want to be a Margadarshak and help people around, you can take assistant. Please download She Safe app. Most of it is there. And whenever you find any women in distress, or you are in distress or going through any kind of situation, please reach out to 100 or the WhatsApp numbers which I've shared with you. And there are a lot of situations all of us had been in dealing with the Margadarshak cases, right? I can talk a lot around the case studies and the way people have approached us. I will leave that to DCP Ansuya ma'am to share some of the laws, the acts, as well as some of the case scenarios. So how women really reach out to, and what are the kind of situations, be it in terms of domestic violence, physical violence, or sexual abuse, or in terms of cyber crimes. So there are a lot of these kind of different crimes and their acts each one of you all should know. And with that, I'd like to end my session. And thank you. I hope the session was informative. And for more details, yes, it's important to be aware. With that, thanks a lot. And over to DCP ma'am. If CP sir is there, would like to invite Sajjanar sir to be able to come and share few words. because he's the chairperson and he's the person, the man and the brain behind all of this. He's the leader to be able to help us to provide a safer Hyderabad and safer Cyberabad. So with that, if I have VC Sajjanar Garu, CP sir, who's the leader behind all of this, would request him to come and share few words before I give the mic to Ansuya ma'am. Lalita, do we have CP sir on the line?
Good afternoon, everybody. I welcome you all to this session. So once again, appreciate our DCP Ansuya, Pratyusha, and the entire Women's Forum team of SCSC and the Secretariat team for organizing this program. It's a great initiative by the SCSC and Cyberabad Police. Also appreciate our Secretary, SCSC Secretary Krishna, Pratyusha, and other SCSC members for all the good work they have been doing in the Cyberabad area, whether it's traffic, whether it's women's safety, also regarding cyber security, for all the great initiatives taken by the SCSC. This is also one of the great initiatives because of late we have been getting a lot of cases regarding abuse of new hires because they are new to the city and new to the company. So taking advantage of this new hires, many people are cheating them, abusing them. So such cases were reported to Cyberabad Police. Our DCP Ansuya will be telling in detail about the cases, and it's a very, very bad case. So we thought that we should start this program session for all the new hires so that they also can be educated, because we have come to know that many of the new hires who are coming to the city and to the IT corridor are not aware of the emergency numbers, or other they are not aware about the C teams and all. So we thought that this endeavor will definitely bring some awareness among the IT employees and also the new hires. Please, who are there in this session, please spread this message. Please tell what are the emergency numbers which have been told by our Pratyusha, and also what is there in the SheSafe app also should be downloaded so that it can be made aware to all the new hires and also all the IT employees. So you're all aware of that Telangana Police and Cyberabad Police top priority is women safety and children safety. So we have our SHE teams, which is a flagship program of Telangana Police and the Telangana government. So we have almost all in the entire state, we have all the SHE teams. So they have been working very, very effectively. In Cyberabad alone, we have about 13 SHE teams, which have also been working very, very effectively. And also we have a robust dial 100 system. You must be aware of the dial 100. So almost last 6-7 months, a lot of awareness campaigns have been taken by SCS and also by us. So it's a very, very robust dial 100 system. So our average time is 5 minutes. Whenever you call or when there is a distress call, our police officials and our patrols, our blue coats will reach the emergency place or the emergency person in 5 minutes. We have a number of case studies where we have proved and we have helped the victims and all. So I request all the participants in this session to make use of this robust dial 100 system, and also make aware your friends and relatives about the dial 100 system. Also, we are one request I want to make to all the new hires and all the participants. Please use your social media very, very carefully, because we have number of cases are getting reported where the social media has been misused, their WhatsApp, their Facebook has been misused, and the number of cases are getting reported. So I request all the participants in the session to please use your social media very, very carefully. And also when you are committing for a relationship, because we are getting, when many cases are getting reported where they are getting cheated, and after the few years they come back and they try to give complaints and all. So by the time a lot of damage would have been done. So I request all the participants, so before you are committing to any relationship, please be very, very careful. Please inquire yourself. Please know the background of that person. Then only commit for that relationship. And also, so we have a very, very dedicated cybercrime police station also, where we get a lot of cybercrime related cases. So I request Pratyusha also and also DCP Anshuya to make aware about our cybercrime police station and about the cases also. SCSC has been doing a great job in the Cyberabad and IT corridor, and also in Rachakonda and Hyderabad. We have a number of initiatives, and recently also they have developed a CSAFE app, which is a one-stop app for all the women-related issues. I think Pratyusha has already told about that CSAFE app. Please download it and make use of it. Please download it and make use of it, and also spread that message so that more downloads. How many downloads have happened, Pratyusha?
More than 1,000.
Okay, then. So it's a very, very good app, and it's a one-stop app for all the solutions. So I request all the participants in this session to please download it, and also tell your friends and relatives to download it. And also, our Cyberabad police has a very dedicated women and children safety wing headed by our effective DCP Anshuya. She has been doing a great work, and all the C teams also have been doing great work in Cyberabad area. So now I once again appreciate our DCP Anshuya and our entire team, and also our Secretary Krishna, Pratyusha, and our entire Women's Forum members, and all the Secretariat, SCSC Secretariat team for doing a great job in the IT corridor and for this great initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we had a close to about 2,000 downloads, and I think with the registrations and people have downloaded, I think it's close to 2,000 to 2,500.
Great.
But we need to ensure that people start using the app and learning from it. So with that, thanks a lot, sir, for your valuable insights and all the great work. So we've been getting a lot of chat messages thanking you and wishing you good health.
I wish the same to all the participants. Please take care, because there is a steep increase in the cases, especially in the Hyderabad, Rachakonda and Hyderabad. Please be safe, stay home and stay safe.
Thanks a lot, sir. So thanks a lot. And those were some very valuable inputs of what the entire Cyberabad police is doing, right, to be able to support and make each one of you all feel safe. With that, I'd like to introduce, as CP sir said, the effective, efficient DCP Anshuya ma'am. She's the one who's the convener for SCSC. We could not have Krishna, who's the secretary for SCSC. But for the Women's Forum wing, where I'm the joint secretary, we have DCP Anshuya ma'am from the police representing the Women's Forum wing. DCP Anshuya ma'am comes with great thoughts, great ideas, and gives us all the support with all the initiatives. You see what we are doing in the IT corridor. With that, I'd like to invite DCP Anshuya ma'am and to share the next 15-20 minutes, the different policies and acts. And Lalita, I hope you're sharing the presentation. So if you have any 1 or 2 questions, yes, you can put on chat. So CP sir will be there for about 5 minutes and log off. Otherwise, Anshuya ma'am is going to start a presentation. Ma'am, we can't hear you if you're speaking.
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you, Pratyusha, for the lovely introduction. Am I audible? Speaker. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Ma'am, yes, you are audible, ma'am. It's loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you, Pratyusha. Thank you for the lovely introduction. A very good afternoon to all of you. So as Siddhi sir said, we have a dedicated women and children safety wing in Cyberabad Commissionerate. And it takes up all the important women and children related activities. And She Teams is part of the this wing. And for all those of you who do not know what is She Teams, I'll just give a brief introduction to the She Teams, and then after that we'll go into the nitty-gritty of the law. So She Teams was formed in the year 2014 to curb eve-teasing in public places and to make a safe and secure environment for the women who are coming out to work. So the She Teams are working 24/7. They are in mufti. They don't wear a uniform. They will be going around the bus stops, the railway stations, and all the public places wherever there is a gathering of men and women. And they see that if there is anybody who is indulging in eve-teasing and harassing of women, they then catch hold. They catch hold of this person who is eve-teasing in public place, and they bring him to the police station, and case is booked against them. So how do they ensure that this fellow, he says that maybe he will say that I did not do anything, you people caught me just like that only, just to show that you are doing your work. So our people, they will be recording all his activities, whatever he's doing in public, and then they will show him the video. Then he won't have anything to say for that, and then he will accept that he has done a mistake. And after that, after booking a case against him, again we call him along with his spouse if he is married, or if he is unmarried, if he is a minor, then he will come to us with his parents, and then we do a counseling session in our office, and we counsel this person so that he reforms himself, and there is a change in his behavior. So this is how the She Teams work. And apart from this basic duty that they do, they deal with a lot of harassment complaints. So we receive a lot of complaints of somebody harassing women online, and harassing a woman by simply stalking physically, or some such kind of activity. So if any woman is facing any kind of such harassment, then she has to report to the She Teams. So how do women report to She Teams? So we have a dedicated WhatsApp number 9490617444, and also because there are different WhatsApp numbers for all the different regions, so the Telangana state has come up with a dedicated She Team number, which is Pan Telangana. So wherever you are located, you can just send a message on this number 944 166 9988. So this is the number where I'll be sharing it with you in a short while. So this is the number where you can share your problem. You can simply write a small message and say that my name is Ansuya. I stay in Hyderabad. I stay in Kondapur. I'm facing an issue with a boy who is harassing me online. This is my contact number. So I will give my contact number 9490617444. So when we see this message, they will get in touch with the woman who has given us this complaint, and then we will talk to her. Wherever she feels comfortable, we will be reaching out to her there, whether she wants to talk on the telephone, or she wants to come personally to our office, or she wants to go to some other place. She wants us to meet in an informal setting. So wherever, and if she is comfortable with people going to her house, they will go to her house and take a complaint, and then they will solve her problem. So that is about the She Teams. So apart from She Teams, we also have the Bharosa Center in Kondapur Hospital, where we deal with complaints of domestic violence or any kind of relationship problems, whether it is within the family, between mother, daughter, father, daughter, son, mother, brother, sister. All kinds of issues are dealt with in the Bharosa Center, as well as the issues of violence, sexual violence or any other kind of violence, and violence against children also. So these are the initiatives that are being taken up in the Hyderabad area. Apart from that, we also have the Operation Smile and Balamitra also, where we go to the schools, and in Balamitra we go to the schools and talk to the children, and if they are facing any kind of problems, so it is dealt with through the Balamitra program, which is we recognize a teacher from the school as a Balamitra, and we tell the students that this teacher is the Balamitra. If you are having any kind of issues in your school, in your neighborhood, in your house or anywhere else, you can talk to this teacher. This teacher will again tell us about the problem and we will take action without your name coming out in the public domain. So the basic concept of She-Teens is that the confidentiality of the victim information is maintained at any cost. So that is about She-Teens. And when we are talking about confidentiality, and the reason why we are having this new higher orientation program is that there was a very bad case that happened recently, which prompted CP sir to think on having a new higher orientation program and also taking them through all these laws and making them aware of reporting in case they face any kind of issue. So this this girl, she was a new hire. She finished college and she entered into a software company in Hyderabad. And at the time of interview for the job, she this fellow who was harassing her came into contact with her. He took her phone number from the resume that she presented in the office during the time of her interview. So after taking her number from the resume, he started calling her. She was she should have reported the issue right at that stage. So there are several stages in the entire story. I will tell you where you could have where this girl could have reported to us, and we would have taken action, and she would have been rid of this problem instead of suffering with this problem for so many days. So initially what happened was, after he took her number from the resume, he started calling her. And after some time, when she did not respond, he followed her from the office to where she was staying, to the PG accommodation where she was staying. And then slowly he started making conversation with her and saying that you are looking beautiful. I like you, the way you talk. I like the way you walk. And all those things. And the girl, she didn't agree to it. She said, I am not interested in you. But then he persuaded her to at least talk to him, just as a friend. So she continued the friendship. And one fine day, he went to her PG hostel. And then he said, if you don't come out of your hostel and say that I love you, I'm going to touch these high tension wires that are there and I'm going to commit suicide. So this girl was in a panic. She didn't know what to do. So she came running down and said, okay, I love you. So from then onwards, at least at that point of time, she could have informed us and we could have taken action. But she was not aware of the danger that she was getting into even at that point of time. She thought that by talking smoothly and nicely, she can get rid of this guy. So that never happened. This guy, he went a step ahead. He said, come with me for a dinner, come with me for a cup of coffee, and he took her here and there, and then he took some selfies. Now, after he took these selfies, he started harassing her, saying that if you don't come out with me, I'm going to send these pictures to your parents. So this is where he got a hold over her. And he started harassing her. She didn't want this problem to be known to her parents. So she gave in to his demands, and then he booked the OYO room and said, you have to spend the night with me. And even at this stage, at the selfie stage also, she could have come to us and she could have got some relief from this kind of a problem. But she didn't come to us even at that stage. Then when it went to the next stage also, she didn't come to us. So again, when they were in private act, he took a video of all that, and then he started harassing her that whenever I call you, you have to come to me. And he started booking OYO rooms here and there. And he was forcing her to come and spend the night with him. So meantime, lockdown happened and both of them went away to their native places. And also, he was harassing her and saying that you have to give me a salary also. You have to give me money so that I will not send these pictures to your parents. So she gave her salary, and then he was not satisfied. He said, give me more money. Then she used to take tuitions in the evening. And with that 6,000, 7,000, whatever she used to earn, she used to give that money also to him. So look at the level of harassment and the stages through which she passed without coming out and telling anybody. So my request to all of you, since you are all very new to the organization, please don't get into these kind of relations. And anywhere you feel uncomfortable, you should immediately come out of that situation and take help. Just now you heard Pratyusha talking about Margdarshaks. So there will be some Margdarshak in your organization. You can go to the Margdarshak and request for help. The Margdarshaks are trained to talk to the SHE teams. They will get in touch with the SHE teams, or they'll go to the local police station and they will see that your problem is solved. But in the entire process, you will be very much worried about your identity coming out in the open. So this is the fear that many women have, and many women feel that no, there is nobody to listen to them, first of all. So we are all there to listen to you all. And don't think at any stage that your problem is a small problem for us, because for you it is a big problem. So don't think that police are busy with this, police are busy with COVID, police are busy with other murders and dacoities and gang wars and all that. Your problem is equally important to us, so you should immediately get in touch with us. You can simply dial 100 also. We are even following up on dial 100 calls from women. Every day we are sending our SHE teams to talk to the women who have dialed 100 the previous day. The dial 100 calls are attended on an emergency basis, so somebody will come to you immediately. But the next day, immediately we will be following up with the SHE teams, calling you up and then coming to you and discussing with you your problem and asking you whether your problem has been solved. So in this case, the story doesn't end here. After she left to her native place, she slowly said, thought that if she said that she's going to get married, this guy will leave her alone. So she said that, please leave me alone. Now my parents are thinking of getting me married. So this guy, he got all worked up and he started harassing her through WhatsApp and through text messages. So he is saying, how can you marry somebody you have spent, you have been with me physically, you cannot marry anyone. And then after some time he says, okay, if you want to marry, you marry, but you have to wait for 1 year. You can only marry after 1 year. So in the meantime, what we will do is, you will talk to me on WhatsApp in the nude. And whenever he is calling, she is forced to talk to him in the nude, showing her private parts. And this guy is again recording all these incidents on his WhatsApp. And then he is sending the same to her again and saying, see, I have a recording of all these things. Now, if you don't respond to me, I will send all this to your parents. So this girl is getting into more and more trouble by listening to him, and she is thinking that at some point of time, maybe he will stop harassing me. But no, then he went to the next level. He said, you take a blade, cut my name. With a blade, you will cut on your private parts and then show me the blood oozing out of your private parts. Now we can see the cruelty has gone to the next higher level. So now she became very, very terrorized and she couldn't bear this harassment anymore. And then she revealed it to her brother, and her brother then came to us. He was a bit aware of the SHE teams and all that. So he directly came to me, and then when he narrated this whole incident, we were really shocked. And all these things, I'm telling you in short, but all these things during the lockdown, during the 2 months period, she was suffering hell during the 2 months period of lockdown, staying at home, unable to reveal it to her parents, and not willing to put her parents through the mental trauma of her problem. So when the brother approached us, we immediately took action. I immediately informed CP Sajana sir, and sir also was very, very concerned. And then immediately we took action. We filed FIR. We arrested this guy, and now he is in jail. and we are trying to, not trying, we are putting him under PD Act so that he will be in jail for the next 1 year. So this is a sequence of events that happened, and you all can easily imagine at some stage or the other, if she would have come to us, she would have been spared this mental trauma that she was suffering all those days. So, and this is the worst case that I have narrated to you. There are several other cases which have come to us and we have solved. There was one other case where a woman was being harassed on Facebook by a man who simply is not known to her in any other way, but because she put some photographs, some posts on her Facebook, this guy, he interacted with her. He sent a friendship request. She accepted his friendship request, and he made friends with her. And then everything happened after some time. And then he had her photographs, and he started blackmailing her for money. So she was in a fix how to get out of this situation. She gave into his blackmailing tactics. She gave money to him. She went on giving money till the point when she became a pauper. And then she was contemplating suicide. At that point of time, she reached out to the she teams, and then we said, why did you suffer all these days? You could have come to us earlier. But she was not aware that she had help and that she could reach out to the she teams for help. So then immediately the same day, we planned a decoy operation. We said, she didn't have any more money to give to him. And that day he had demanded 10,000 rupees. So we all pooled our resources. I took out 1,000 rupees from my pocket, 1,000 from my team members, all of us. We pulled out 10,000 rupees, and then he was not believing that she had the money. So we put the money on the table, and then we showed it to him through WhatsApp, through her. And he was convinced, and he said, yes, I will come to your house to collect the money. And we conducted a decoy operation. We caught him and we put him in jail. So these are the instances where unnecessarily somebody is getting into trouble because of lack of knowledge, or because of various other reasons, unable to understand that they are getting into trouble. So the moment anybody understands that they are in trouble, they should immediately reach out to us. That is my appeal to all of you. And the main purpose of this program itself is to see that you all are equipped with the knowledge where to reach out, how to reach out, and what are the laws we have for you, so that you are aware that what is happening to you is legal or illegal. So we'll quickly take a look at the laws. So we have, first of all, section 509 IPC. IPC, as you all know, is Indian Penal Code. It enacts all the illegal things which are punishable by law. So section 509 is insulting the modesty of a woman. When somebody insults a woman, says something which she feels very uncomfortable with, and she is her modesty is insulted. It may be a simple sentence, it may be a look, it may be something said, it may be something done. So as soon as the woman feels uncomfortable, she can always come and she can report to us, and we will file a case under section 509 IPC. After that, we have the next stage, that is section 354 IPC, where in section 509, it is just the word, a sign, or something said, or something shown, like flashing. Many men have this habit of flashing their private parts when a woman is looking at him. So that also comes under section 509. So all these things are done from a distance. When somebody comes and touches a woman, then it falls under section 354 IPC. So when somebody touches a woman with the intention of outraging her modesty, then it is section 354 IPC, and imprisonment of 5 years is prescribed for this. And after that is with the Criminal Law Amendment Act, we had 354 subdivided into sections A, B, C, and D. So basically, it is about touching a woman. But 354A says that anybody who touches a woman or demands sexual favors or shows pornography or comments with sexually colored remarks. So this falls under section 354A IPC, where there is an imprisonment up to 3 years under this section. That is, if a woman comes out and complains to the police and an FIR is launched, then the man is taken to the court and arrested, and then the case runs in the court, and finally he is punished with 3 years in jail. Then we have 354B IPC, which is molesting a woman, trying to disrobe her and trying to have sexual intercourse with her, and that is punishable with imprisonment of up to from 5 to 7 years. It is written as 3, but it is 5 to 7 years. Then we have 354C, that is voyeurism. Whenever somebody is trying to look at you through a hidden camera or some such thing, it is a section for the peeping toms. So if somebody is doing that, you can always complain to us, and then he will be punished with imprisonment from 1 year to 3 years in prison. 354D is a stalking section, that is most used section in IPC, as the crimes against women are reported mostly under 354D IPC. So most of the men, they don't understand that a woman is not interested in his romance, is not interested in any kind of relationship with the man, but still he keeps stalking her online, offline, everywhere, through WhatsApp messages, through emails, through sending her messages, through intermediaries, or any kind of stalking, online, offline, everything comes under section 354D. Then in continuation, we have the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act, which deals with the sexual harassment of women at the workplace. So somebody at your workplace is trying to sexually harass you. This you can complain to us under this provisions of this act. But the same ingredients which are put under the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace are again covered under IPC sections. So suppose your internal complaints committee is not able to deal with this problem, and you are not satisfied with the way the complaint has been dealt with in your organization, you can always come to us. We have taken care of sexual harassment of women at workplace complaints also without the organization even knowing about it in some cases, and we have given relief to the women by way of dealing with the harassment. Then we have several sections under Information Technology Act. The Information Technology Act deals with everything pertaining to online harassment and online frauds, violation of privacy online, and all those things. So we have women-specific sections, section 66D, 66E, 67, 67A, and 67B deals with children. Children is children who are below 18 years of age. Whoever is below 18 years of age is called child in the law. So whenever anything like misusing matrimonial websites or social networking websites and harassing you online, so that is booked under 66D, and it has an imprisonment up to 3 years in prison. Then there is section 66E, where somebody takes your pictures and then transmits them online and then sends to somebody else, and especially the images of your private areas. So in the example I told you, in the case that happened recently, he was booked under section 66E also, because he was transmitting the pictures of the private parts of the victim over the online. So that is 66E. Then 67, section 67 of IT Act is creating obscene profiles and circulating obscene emails. So somebody is sending a very obscene email and talking very vulgarly over mails, they are covered under section 67 of the Information Technology Act. Then section 67A also, circulating sexually implicit material on the internet and posting the victim's identity, phone number. Many men, when they are rejected by the woman, they want to take revenge. So what they do is they put the phone number, the photograph of the woman, or her mail ID on some pornographic sites and say that I am available, and they create fake profiles also. And through those fake profiles, they start soliciting online, and this woman, she starts getting all the requests. So this also is covered under the Information Technology Act, and there is a punishment of imprisonment up to 5 years. So this is regarding the Information Technology Act. Then going to the next higher level. First we talked about harassment from a distance, like through a word, through a gesture, through showing private parts or something. Then the next sections 354 where when somebody came and touched you. And then we have gone through the online. Somebody is harassing you online. Now this is a more serious section that we are going into. The next section is section 376 IPC. As you all know, section 376 IPC is regarding the rape section. So whenever any woman is raped, you all know what rape is, so I need not give you the technical definition of rape. But without her consent, if somebody is taking advantage of her, then it is called rape in simple terms. So there are different, again, A, B, C, D sections which were brought in with the Nirbhaya Act amendment. And all these carry a minimum punishment of 10 years. And gang rape carries a minimum punishment of 20 years. And when a child is raped, the punishments are more severe, minimum 20 years of imprisonment, and gang rape is like you go into the jail for lifetime. So these are the severe punishments that came in after the Nirbhaya Act amendment. Earlier, rape used to have 10 years of minimum punishment. Now, 7 years of minimum punishment. Now it has become 10 years. And rape is very seriously taken up by the courts. Then after finishing the 376 IPC, now I go into the matrimonial disputes and matrimonial sections. So after the marriage, when the husband or his relatives harass this woman mentally, physically, or in any other, let me change the slide, manner, then she can go to the police station and she can file a complaint against them, and there is a punishment of imprisonment up to 3 years in jail. And apart from that, under the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act, which we call DV Act, she has a number of rights which she can claim by going to the civil courts. After exhausting all those options, she can again go for 498A, or she can simultaneously file for relief under Domestic Violence Act, and then also be under the criminal 498A when she is facing any kind of harassment from her husband in the form of physically he's beating her up, and then or verbally he is abusing her, and then verbally he is taunting her and making her life a hell. So after that, we have the Dowry Prohibition Act. You all know dowry is prohibited under the law. Giving as well as taking is prohibited. I put this because you all are new to the workplace, and you should all know that talking about dowry is actually punishable. Then we have a section called Section 304B, where a woman who dies within 7 years of her marriage due to dowry harassment, then the husband is put in jail for minimum of 7 years to up to lifetime. Then after that, we have the POCSO. POCSO is the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. This was especially brought out in the year 2012 for the sake of protecting the children. So earlier, even if they were children, they were the cases were booked under Section 376 IPC. After this, whenever any child below 18 years is facing any kind of sexual harassment or sexual assault or any such kind of thing, they are punished under the POCSO Act, which is a very powerful act. And generally children don't come out and complain. So that is the reason this act came into place, and then there should be severity of punishment. So this rape of children was again amended with the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018, and the punishment of not less than 20 years when a child under 12 years is raped. So these are the things about POCSO Act. Then we have the acid attack and then section 370 also. This is only to make you all aware that there are so many laws for protection of women and children. And lastly, we have the Juvenile Justice Act, where again it is with children. And then under this act, a lot of changes have been brought about. And under this act, there are punishments for if anybody uses children for begging, or uses children for uses the child as a child employee, or gives any intoxicating liquor, drug, tobacco products to a child, uses a child for drug peddling, or uses a child for peddling peddling banned substances and all that. So protection is provided to children under this act, and also illegal adoptions have been banned under the Juvenile Justice Act. So nobody can adopt a child just like that. If you see a poor woman with several children, you can just simply not go out and then take one of her children and then you bring them up in your home. That is illegal. You will go to jail for 5 years if you do that. So there is a system where you can adopt children. That is through the state adoption resource agency website or the central adoption resource agency website. So these are the various laws regarding women and children I wanted you all to know. I know it is all a lot of information for you to understand in a short session of about 20 minutes. It's very difficult, I understand. So we will share all these with you so that you have any queries on it. You can again, you have any doubts, you can go through it. And in case you come across any case, not only your own, in your neighborhood, anywhere else, in your friends, in your extended family, you come across any kind of such a situation which I have described till now, you can always reach out to us and then you can tell us. And in case you yourself have fallen a prey to any one of these kind of situations, you should always get back to us, and we are sharing the WhatsApp numbers to you so that you should all note down those numbers, and then in case of any kind of issues you face in your daily, at your workplace or at your home, in your neighborhood, while you're traveling, anytime. So whatever situation it is, you can get in touch with us. We can have the last slide. And I have to talk about the Hawkeye app also. So all of you should download the Hawkeye app, which has been designed by the Telangana Police for safety of women. This Hawkeye app has a lot of information in it. Just as you have downloaded the SheSafe app, there is the Hawkeye app also for the safety, and it also has an SOS button, which when you are in danger, you can press that SOS button, and 5 people from the police department will be simultaneously notified about this emergency SOS situation, and your location will be shared with us, and we will be there within 5 minutes to save you from your situation. So these are the things I quickly rushed through because of lack of time. And any queries, you can always put it on the chat box. We are there to clear all your doubts. Are there any queries, Pratyusha? And thank you for listening to me patiently. Oh, no. So many people have this doubt. Yes. After the counseling session, they think that suppose I complain, this person, he may get back to us and then get back to me and harass me more. So it never happens. It has not happened. Rare cases where a person, he again harasses the victim. We again file a complaint against him and we send him to jail. And then he realizes that this is not the route this route is not going to help him in any way, because dealing with the law is not so easy for anyone. Harassing a woman is a different thing, and then getting in touch with the law is a different thing. So the harasser, this is a very valid point which I forgot to mention. The harasser will harass you as long as he has a hold on your mind. Let me tell you, it is your mind that he controls. So as soon as you complain to us, that control of his over your mind is gone. And he loses interest in you because he cannot harass you any longer. He will look for other victims. Or when he is punished by the law, definitely he will, he will realize that this is not the way to live. Nobody would like to be in jail. Everybody would like to have a peaceful life. So they will not harass you to complain. Shall we say any other? That was a very valid question. So I hope all of you have noted down the WhatsApp number. That is the most important number for you.
Any more questions, please?
Pratyusha, can you hear me? इतना सारा पानी है, फिर वो बॉटल लाके उधर वो कैमरा के सामने रख के क्या है, क्या ऐसे बेवकूफन जैसे काम करते हो? हाँ? All my attention was getting diverted because of his activities here.
We'll go on mute.
Closing the session.
Yeah, Pratyusha, am I audible?
No.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
So I think that is from my side.
So there were some questions, ma'am, saying that can a girl report out on behalf of a friend, and because she's has some fears. So I told that she can reach out to Margadarshak and she teams. Her identity will be kept. She has to come and speak up and give her the confidence to do that. We couldn't hear you at that time, so I responded to that if you want to add. And
Okay.
people wanted to be in large communities, colleges, all of these self-defense classes. All these are a part of a long-drawn Margadarshak and safety awareness sessions which we do for organizations. Please look out for all these events on the SheSafe app. Enroll yourself. And I know we are almost 20 minutes into the time. So we are also just looking at how we can extend this. Maybe next time we'll do it for 1.5 hours. For those of your friends or colleagues who could not attend the session today, please have them log in the next fortnight session. And these will be continued sessions for a couple of weeks. And then we'll make it an online certification module for all of you all to access. So thanks a lot, ma'am. That's all the questions are. Very informative. I know it was very brief. We will share the deck on the app. The laws you can go through in detail. It's public information. So in your free time, please go through it. And finally, would like to leave you with the 6 A's of safety, right? Which at Women's Forum, all of us really think. Avoid areas which appear very unsafe. Assess the situation. Ensure that you notice the attitude and the behavior of people. Look for different areas, access areas to escape. Don't hesitate and please ask for help and be aware. So avoid, assess the situation, have the right attitude, access for places where you can escape, ask for help and be aware. So the 6 A's of safety. With that, request you all, if there is any other question, I know CP sir, if you would want to give the last few closing comments or any thoughts. There were few questions. How do we extend this to colleges, communities, have self-defense sessions? If there is something, sir, you would want to share, the team is very happy that you are there with all of them. Sir, you're on mute. Lalita, can you please get sir off mute? Sir, if you can unmute your button, you've unmuted. Lalita, can you get sir off mute? Yeah, sir, you're on audio.
Yes, it's a very good suggestion. The other day also I was discussing with Ansuya that we have to extend this program to the
Resident welfare associations.
welfare associations also, and when the colleges and schools starts also, we'll definitely extend it. And also we have a Dil Se program by the SCAC, which will cover all the programs about the do's and don'ts of social media, about the women and safety issues and all. So that program also, because of the lockdown, we could not do it. So in the coming academic year, definitely we'll launch it in all the schools in Cyberabad area, and slowly we'll extend it to the other areas. You are all aware that we have a very dedicated team of SCAC traffic volunteers who are very, very dedicated, who after their working hours come on the road and they help us in traffic issues. And also the same team will be working as our Dil Se volunteers, and they'll be going to schools and colleges, educating all the students about the do's and don'ts about the social media, the cyber crime, also about the women and children safety issues. So that will also help us in creating awareness.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Question?
Any other questions? If you want one
Yes,
last question, sir can take.
Self-defense classes, already we are doing it in our IT corridor area. Definitely in the coming days, we'll definitely extend it to schools and colleges also. Then any other question was there?
So there was one question which ma'am has answered, but you could also reiterate the point, saying that, you know, she wanted to know if she filed a complaint against someone and the SHE team have caught that person and have given him counseling, he might take ego and retaliate and harm the family later. What are the safety measures that will be taken by the police?
So we'll keep the entire information confidentially, and we'll ensure that that person also doesn't come nearer to her also. So that way stringent measures will be taken, and we have also solved many cases, and that's why many complaints we are receiving. Nowadays, a lot of complaints are coming to our SHE team because of the confidence only. I hope Ansuya agrees to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So this year we have received around 1009 in spite of the COVID so far.
So Pratima is saying, thank you very much, Sajana sir, CP sir, Ansuya ma'am, and Pratyusha. It was not like a virtual session, more like a personal interaction. It's more focused on the employees. Sir, could it be for individual persons? But Pratima, I think this is all for each one of y'all. It's your individual personal safety. This is being spoken to, and you can invite them also, right?
So everybody knows that whatever complaints is received by the C teams, it's being monitored personally by the DCP and also by me. So each and every complaint is looked, and it is ensured that it reaches a logical end. Like what Ansuya is telling about the very, very bad case about a lady IT employee. We both ensured that it reached a logical end, even though there was a lot of difficulties reaching that accused because of the law. He was staying in another state, but we never let him go. We caught him and we ensured that he was given proper treatment, and then only was sent to remand. So also again, in another case from our own state, that fellow was trying to impersonate that his own married wife and trying to abuse her, trying to send vulgar videos and messages and all. That also we did not leave him, and we ensured that that case also reached the logical end. So I request all the participants, please be assured that whatever complaints, that will be taken to a logical end, and it will be monitored personally by both of us.
So there's a recommendation saying, can we do some sessions in the for the communities people, either online or physical? It'll be good if we can do online couple of sessions.
This was already thought other day. Yesterday only, I think I was speaking to Ansuya about this same idea. We are trying to list out all the resident welfare associations, and the important members will be contacting them. Or already, I think our researchers have been alerted through our patrol mobile, and our blue codes will collect all the names of the members of those associations, and we'll try to definitely connect them, and we'll ensure that this session is taken forward.
Yeah. So with that, we can end the session, sir. Thanks so much for all your leadership and vision. Thanks a lot, DCP ma'am.
Please spread the message to all. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thanks. Have a great evening. Thanks a lot.
Thanks everyone. Thank you.